Could you give us a squad update first, who's in and who's out, and who might be in and who might be out?
I think the only two that I can think of are Benny Birmingham and Callum Newhoff. They're out. They'll probably be looking to return for match squads the September time. They're back on the pitch, but we need to build them up properly. That's really the only two that I can. There's nobody really else that's out. We've got a lot of fit players.
Tagawa, is he away?
Yeah, so we got a bid that we felt was acceptable, and after speaking to him, it kind of became clear that it's probably going to be the best move for everybody. He's somebody who's been unfortunate. I think the biggest thing is that he lacked the minutes that he wanted and needed. As a person, professionalism, character, all fantastic. Was good to work with. Not any problems when he wasn't getting the game time. But after that came in, we kind of all spoke about it, and it probably suits everybody that happens. He gets more game time, and I think he has been unfortunate. We've got strikers that have performed really well last season, which limited his timing. It's just a natural thing that happens in football. So yeah, that's one thing that will move on.
Does that free up a wage for somebody else to come in, or is it something you're looking to? Somebody else, maybe another part of the team?
It frees up money for sure, and also the transfer fee. But I'm not instantly looking at it. There's not something that we've got sitting waiting to go, right, we're going to move on this. That's not going to happen. But I think we're well covered in that position. We've got Shanks, Boyce, Vargas, Musa Drama, James Wilson. So we've got players, but like it all, we'll continue to look. If we then think we could use something here or there, or if there's injuries, then we maybe sign somebody. But we've still got 3 weeks to go, and it's not something that's urgently pressing.
How important is it to follow up the performance on Saturday and get a win on this weekend?
Yeah, it's important. I think the performance last week was really good. Better actually now that I'm sitting here than when I spoke straight after the game. I think you can be deceived by the possession, the shots on goal, but if you look a bit deeper, we were really impressive. The duels, the amount of times we were in the final third, expected goals over both halves was very good, and it was much better than what we've put up a fight against Rangers last season. So really pleased with that, and the manner of the performance. We've got, I think this season you can see we've got more energy, more intensity, athleticism's better than it was last season. So they're all points that we've looked to improve, and we have, but we need to put in the same levels this week, which is going to be a tough game. Dundee, we've still got memories of the first game last season when we go there and we get beat, which was a tight game, and we made a mistake in the game to concede the goal that probably defines the game, but our levels need to be better than they were that day.
Has the bar risen in terms of expectations in this campaign?
I think
what
from
you're asking from the players?
Internally, no. I think if we can perform like we did last season, I think that's still moving the club forward, because we'll then be in Europe, and if we can perform in Europe and have the same levels that we did at the end of last season, then that's definitely a progression again. So that's where my mindset sits. I'm greedy and I'm a winner, and I want to win, and I want to win trophies. I've experienced it as a player, what I do as a coach, so that will never change. But if you look at the bigger picture, like we've kind of been doing within the club, whether it be the board, the staff, the players, if we can perform like we did last season, we'll be in a good place.
Dundee probably surprised everybody last season in the way that they certainly ended the season being a new club at the top flight. How much do you think that is down to the manager, Tony Docherty?
A massive amount, and his staff. It's a massive amount, because they came in, and I can't remember the exact numbers, but Doc was saying at how many signings he had to make. Now, from being internally knowing how hard it is to integrate players, it's some achievement what Tony and that managed last season. I know the hard work that they went in to do it, and I know how he works, that he'll have not rested at all last season. So it was really impressive. That's why we know this season it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same. They've not probably as big a turnover, but they've still had quite a few new players. It's going to be a really tough game, but one we need to, if we can have the same levels we did last season, we give ourselves a good chance. And that's the way it'll be.
We have Andres Salazar.
So that's just the process. I think we're there with both clubs are there. I think everybody's on the same page of what we want. We now just need to do the paperwork, the issues with visas and work permits and that. So I don't expect anything to happen till next week, confirming it. But every day there's things going on in the background to get that done over the line.
Are there any others in the pipeline as we're sitting here today?
Not to that extent, no. And I think, to be honest, if you look at our squad, we're healthy. We're healthy in all areas. The challenge in this next couple of weeks is to make sure that the squad feel loved and the ones that aren't playing feel loved and know that we believe that they will play. If that changes for MD, then we'll have conversations and that might change. But internally, we're comfortable. We always look at players, but we're not sitting here going, we need to identify this player to bring in.
What do you do in particular to make the players feel loved?
Being honest with them. Being honest and realistic that this week you might not play, but in 2 weeks' time when we've got European games, there's games there for everybody. Reminding some or giving some examples of players at the start of last season and are showing the starting teams for the start of the last season compared to the end of the season, that it changes. We need every day. But the biggest thing is being honest. I appreciated that as a player, and I do the same as a manager.
Are players more willing these days to buy into the idea of rotation?
I think so. I think when I was a player, you get hooked at half time and you're scratching your head thinking, that's a disaster. I remember it at Rangers away at Inverness, one of my first games. I was thinking, I'm not that bad, and I've been hooked at half time. But then Walter Smith spoke to me on the Monday and said, at Rangers, a draw's no good enough. We need to win.